It's the end of the year. I want to pump out one final video, so let's take a look at what I'm hoping for from 2026. Number 1. More affordable RAM prices again. The AI boom is in full swing. Large corporations are buying up all of the RAM and the stuff that they can, and it's starting to impact everybody. If you want a decent amount of DDR5 RAM for a new build, then you're looking at spending like £300 on RAM alone. That's probably more than you'd spend on the processor or graphics card, and they're much more interesting. I can't think of a more boring waste of money than the equitable quantity of RAM for your computer, especially with the awesome power of hindsight reminding us all that it would only have been a fraction of that just a few short months ago. So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not actually hoping for cheaper RAM, but for a catastrophic market crash. Sure, it will wipe trillions off the stock market, it will plunge millions into financial difficulties, and this is finally the first year that I've managed to max out my stocks and shares ISA. But let's be honest, all that really matters right now is that RAM returns to affordable levels again, because it's killing the PC industry. Scratch that, it's destroying all of gaming and all of computing in general. You can't even get a mini PC for like £100 anymore. What's going on? Oh, that's an annoying click. I'll try to hold it still. And as the prices have risen, it's killed my passion for it. I remember being able to browse hardware, Nvidia, Intel or AMD subreddits, and for them to be full of exciting new releases and speculation and discussion. But now I look and there are still posts on the front page from like 3, 4, 5 days ago, lots of posts of new builds which are boring, and lots of people complaining about prices. People are bored because we don't want faster components, we just want what's already available at more affordable prices. Oh, maybe I can hold it like this instead. We want to return to how the tech industry used to be before everyone realised the potential of computing components. And that ain't going to happen without some serious market corrections. Now, I don't think AI is going anywhere. It is going to change the world forever. It has already. I don't resent the technology. Powerful technology comes with great pros and cons, and unfortunately it's the human side of things that is currently resulting in more cons than pros. But there is no nuanced discussion to be had about this at the moment, where people are so worked up about it. Like, why lump the electricity costs of training the models in the first place with the usage of AI? You don't consider the millions of hours of research and development that goes into making your phone or graphics card or whatnot, but that's a rant for another day. So yeah, cheap RAM prices again. It's always been a fiddly component. I remember several times in the past where it's ballooned to several times its normal price, then one day it just magically returns to normal again and people forget about the whole thing. So here's hoping that RAM is made affordable again. Number 2. I want some new Intel graphics cards, because while the RAM situation is ruining everything, Intel being in the graphics card market is the one positive that I can see in recent years. We've had decades of just AMD versus Nvidia, and a third option is very welcome. I love what they've achieved in just 2 short generations of cards. I still really want to be able to recommend their cards, like the B570 and B580 in particular. It just needs further refinements to the drivers, for continued investment into their upscaling tech, and for a sign that Intel are serious about remaining in the graphics card market, after some quite concerning comments from Intel's new CEO about how they're looking to cut costs by focusing on their core business. I'm hoping they can bundle graphics cards into that vision. They promised 3rd and 4th gen graphics cards a few years ago, like Celestial and Druid, and I really hope those things haven't been cut back or cancelled, because this is an industry where you have to take risks. You can't play it safe when you're up against behemoths like Nvidia and, to a lesser extent, AMD, who right now are actually quite good in the mid-range market. So let's start with hoping for the release of cards like the B770, which could stand to compete against cards like Nvidia's 5070 series and AMD's 9070 series of cards. Because like I said earlier, we don't need faster. These cards are fast enough. What the market really needs right now is what's already available, but at more affordable prices. And I fear that getting this in the graphics card market is also dependent on RAM prices crashing first. A lot of my list is dependent on a market crash. Upcoming games. It's always nice to have games to look forward to, even if I can only really get excited about sequels to games I know already. And with this being point 3 on my list, you know which game I'm hoping for. Slay the Spire 2. I want to see if they can recreate the magic that was the first game, but again, it's so perfectly balanced. But that's not a 3, I hear you cry. No, that's why I'm also looking forward to GTA 6. I think everybody is, and unlike the 3 you might be thinking of, GTA 6 might actually release in 2026, so long as they don't delay it any further. Again. As for Half-Life 3, I think Valve will be holding off until they can lump it with new technology, like how Half-Life 2 came with Steam, Half-Life Alyx came with the Valve Index. So with Half-Life 3, maybe they're hoping to bundle it with the Steam Machine to break into the console market with a killer title and a piece of hardware at a console-like price. But again, I suspect this will also require RAM prices to plummet. Damn it. And I'm also hoping for Destruction Derris too. Number 4. A more reliable upload schedule from our favourite YouTube channels, 2 and 3 Clicks Philip, but mostly 2 Clicks Philip. Stephen King famously writes 6 pages a day, which is why he can churn out bangers with such alarming frequency. And I'd like to be able to do similar by waking up and by typing up a whole script. Doesn't matter what about, I'll find ideas as I go along. That's what I did with this video. Of course, YouTube is a lot more difficult than writing a book. I mean, what's a book? It's just a load of words. Anyone can type that. Whereas for me, it's the filming and editing and research and so on. And I could really refine my workflow in lots of small but meaningful ways, and I'm going to skip this bit of the video because you don't need to know about it. Primarily, my goal is not to get sidetracked by a cheeky game of Slay the Spire every damn waking hour. But right now, I just need to force myself to come up with more ideas and to get more scripts done, because as Stalin was claimed to have said, quantity has a quality of its own. Which gets me on to the 5th point. With global recession and war very likely to happen in the coming year, I hope to finally get my blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Doing something like this has confirmed what I've always suspected, that I'm really stupid and an incredibly slow learner. I just get a bit obsessed with something, then do it again and again and again until I'm really good at it. Which works just fine for things that I can do on my own, like juggling or making music or all the stuff you know me for. But when it involves having to train with somebody else, that really shows how bad I am at learning. I just apologise every session. It's like I look at the move and I'm like, right, I'll remember that, but then I forget what I'm meant to be doing with the rest of my limbs. It's a real problem. I end up having to apologise to the newbie I'm paired with, who apparently has picked up more in one session than I've managed in 20 years of doing it. And what can I do the rest of the time? Girlfriends famously don't like being used as training dummies, and I can't be all like, hi mum and dad, can I try out this new leg lock on you? It's been a year of firsts. I broke my first bone earlier this year. Up till then I thought I was invincible, but it turns out it's quite easy to not break bones when you're just sat at your PC every day. Not so easy when you're getting choked out by a big, sweaty, burly man. So that was fun. Also, one of my knees constantly aches now, but that could just be because I'm 36. So I'm going to try and grind out that blue belt this year by continuing to attend lessons and by picking fights every time I go on a night out. And I know the colour of your belt doesn't change how good you are. Believe me, after all these years, I tell myself that more than anyone else does. But then you see someone shoot through the stripes and lap you and it's like, oh, suddenly I care again. I've made great leaps and bounds. I used to get constantly choked out, whereas now I continue to get constantly choked out. But here's hoping that this might finally be the year of the blue belt, which I'm sure will put me in good stead come World War III. Oh, and I also hope to continue to automate all my housework with my robot lawnmower, my cleaning bot, and to finally repaint the living room a slightly less horrible colour. And to take Fluffykins on more midnight walks so she can finally be the dog that I always wanted her to be. So those are my hopes for 2026. What are yours? Leave your hopes and dreams in the comments section below and smash that subscribe button.